Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Boring Enterprise Nerds Nerdletter Talk, the 7,804th edition. I am your lovely host, Paul Moderman, and with me is the incredible, the ineffable Yelena Perfelieva. And as usual, what happens is we sit down and we just chat about the things that we're thinking about writing about in the next issue of our nerdletter, our newsletter. So, let's stop with me jabbering and let's start talking about the real stuff. Yelena, do you want to hop in first and
Yep, yep.
show us your brain?
Let me share my screen. So I have lined up several subjects that I plan to write about in the newsletter. Sometimes those subjects change before newsletter gets published, but that's a plan for now. So ABAP and AI, it's ever giving subject. There is always something going on. There are tools or something, some kind of news coming out every day. And this week, or rather this month, is no different. I bookmarked this post by Alok Mehta, so thank you so much for sharing this. It's not revolutionary stuff, but I think it's very well written, and I always appreciate when people share their practical experience. So, and this is even part four. I had no idea there were other parts, and they are also, very nice sharing of just what people do. And in this case, Alok is writing about his experience of using Claude with ABAP system. I don't think
Mhm.
he has like any complicated setup, and his process, honestly, it also matches what my own experience and what I hear from others. It's funny that I refused to guess the BAPI. I think that was a problem with many other approaches where some tool just imagines some kind of
Yeah.
function or class that does not exist. And like, oh, here is BAPI update exactly what you want, and that's it does that. And of course, it just doesn't exist. So, which is cool. I also appreciate shout out to ABAP Git, which is
Yeah.
definitely super useful tool,
Hmm.
especially when maybe by limitations of your environment or any other reasons when you need to do kind of when you cannot maybe completely merge all your processes conveniently in one place. It happens more frequently
Yeah.
than it should. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of one subject. Paul, any since you are our designated senior AI correspondent, any any observations from you?
It makes me want to put a microphone on and be like standing in the storm, like,
Yeah.
Yelena, I'm joining you from Palo Alto, California, in the
Like
hurricane or
wind
whatever.
is blowing. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, the wind is blowing
There's
and
you can
it's
see flooding and
just
people are
like the my
fleeing the
beard is
scene.
like blowing a certain way, and yeah. Um, so yeah, so first of all, refusing to guess a Bappy is like that's exactly. I haven't read this blog post yet, of course, so
Mm,
I'll be happy to read it. Um, Refusing to guess is like exactly what most people want,
yeah.
right? So that's good.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, that kind of coaching is getting better and better. Even in the platform that I work on professionally, Nova, we continue to see the AI, the models, and then with our like coaching and platform framework around that stuff, we continue to see it getting better and better and better at not like dreaming up BS about
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And so the people are getting better practices around it, but also the AIs are getting smarter at that stuff too. So like those two things are coming together in a good way
Yeah.
for that hallucination stuff. And the other thing, of course, is ABAP Git is like for like offline approaches to things, off stack, offline, whatever you want to call it. Like ABAP Git is the thing that makes it happen. Like you couldn't do it without ABAP Git.
Mm,
And so the best workflow is offline style, and ABAP makes that happen.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm not sure if it's gonna make it into newsletter in any way, but I still wanted to give a shout out to this post by George Rakos, who is ABAPConf speaker and just good community member. He's written several, I think, blog posts on ABAP subjects. He talks about his experience with offstack, and there have been quite a bit of conversation about this option. So Something definitely to watch. And he mentions Marcelo. Marcelo's ears must be ringing every day, like 24/7,
Yeah.
because so many people very deservedly give him a shout out for his work, and Lars as well. So these are people who enable others. So yeah,
This
if
is
you
this is
yeah.
in this is incredible too because like and I hope I'm not speaking too much for Marcello, but
Mm,
like he would say that he was maybe slightly just a little bit late to the AI game in
mm,
his words. I don't think that's the case, but in his
mm,
words. But and yet the groundwork he laid years ago
yeah,
on the pieces of this puzzle were clearly the things that were needed anyway
yeah,
to get there.
yeah,
Same with ABAP Get, same with ABAP Lint, all those other pieces. Like the stuff that people have been doing out of their own passion, their own intense knowledge, anyway, is what is winding up being the thing that makes it all
yeah,
go. You
yeah.
know.
And the reason I also wanted to highlight this is because it shows how community, just real community, shows up in the best way. And he posts here that he simply wrote about something before and posted something like, "Wouldn't it be nice to have this here?" And Lars, of course, like hold my beer and just delivers that without any waiting for idea or any kind of approval, etc., etc. So really great to see this, working this way and people collaborating. So just want to give a shout out to this nicest group of people. All
Somebody
right.
hold that man's beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody hold Lars beer and all other sea stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody get Lars an assistant so that men can focus on more important things. Awesome. All right, so next subject is also really well written blog post by Nico. I want to say Schonteich, probably in German. Nico is one of the, I think, SAP developer advocate group working for SAP, but this is his
Mm,
personal site where he's sharing his personal ideas. First of all, organic writing is always appreciated, written by
yeah.
humans with no Gen AI stuff.
Mm,
And I especially appreciate his point of view here on the subject of user experience and AI because SAP C-suite have been working around and just sharing about, oh, UI is going to be dead, UX is not the same, AI is new UX, etc. But what does it mean exactly? No one knows. And I think Nico had more specific thoughts here, starting with, yeah, chat window is kind of what's already there and what's been happening. And I also appreciate that when talking about what's possible in the future, he plainly just says, like, I don't really know. And no one actually knows how exactly it's going to look like. But here are just some thoughts, nevertheless. And I do think that chat is still very viable. It has many
yeah.
applications. In very simple case, when chat is all you need, I mean, it's fine. I mean, there is no reason to, I don't know, rain on something just because it's simple. Simple also
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
But when someone kind of vaguely talking about, oh, AI is just going to vibe code some kind of UI for you or something along those lines, I really would love to hear more specifics from people and especially SAP people on this because there have been a lot of talk, but not much in terms of actually showing and showing how this would be practical for like larger group of users. So any
Yeah.
any thoughts from you, Paul?
The thing that I haven't dove into yet on
Mm,
this is there's because I don't think I've even watched the video. It's like a 2 minute promo video that I of course should probably just sit down and watch. Is there's a new like client application experience
mm,
in the old world we call it thick client,
mm-hmm,
for Joule for Work,
mm,
which kind of starting to bear some resemblance to like a desktop version of Claude or a desktop
mm-hmm,
version of ChatGPT, right?
mm,
And I know that's kind of out there floating around. I don't know whether it's even available yet or not, but there's videos promoting it out
mm,
there. And that seems like it's buying more into this idea here
yeah,
of like at the moment it is chat, and that's Like as much as everybody kind of wishes for something better than chat, like until I can like just put a microphone jack inside my brain itself,
Yeah,
right? I think chat is probably the way it's going to be the the messiest possible version of that.
yeah,
But and
yeah,
I mean messiest in the best possible way,
yeah.
right? Because like if I explain to a fellow human I want such and such this and that, I can use the swears and I can like point at pictures and
Yeah,
I can use weird analogies and stuff like that. And humans understand those things.
yeah.
And now AIs understand those things too,
Mm,
which makes chat like probably at this moment the best way to just be messy with something and yet start to
mm,
get like a collaboration out of the tool for that stuff.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and there have been some kind of attempt at disrupt UX space with like voice kind of driven interaction, etc. And it might make sense in some applications, but to be honest, my stupid Alexa still years later can barely understand what I'm talking about and constantly just messes things up. So I feel that it's kind of niche application that doesn't really go anywhere. And when
Yeah.
voice is out, chat is chat is kind of what works
Yeah.
very well for many people.
Yeah.
And it's always good opportunity to drag out my favorite subject of Maya principle, which is most advanced yet acceptable. Both parts are equally important.
Yeah.
If you have something super advanced but it users cannot relate to it, that's just
Well,
not going to work. And
too
I think
bad.
we
Yeah.
mentioned a few times in our either podcast or other videos, like Silicon Valley episode on exactly this subject, where those guys came up with super advanced stuff, but then have to run workshops to explain it to people, and
Yeah.
people like, I don't get it. So yeah, try not to be like that. There is already experience, vast experience going years back. It's not really that kind of new. So yeah, just
Yeah.
use that. And speaking about old, so surprisingly, SAP GUI new version is out, and quite frankly, I'm not frequently pleasantly surprised by by SAP posts, but this was kind of like what? Like, because SAP suddenly really kind of went all in on improvements in the SAP GUI. And one, I think, most notable one is a feature. I don't think if I gonna so there here is like the whole list of features here. It's very long post. Let me just scroll through super like long detailed list of all the stuff that's becoming available. So that alone is unexpected. It's not simply like, hey, we put it's a new version because old one has too many security holes or something like that.
Yeah.
There is really tangible improvements. One of them, I think, is what many people are going to be excited about. It can finally group your sessions by environment. Although
Uh,
some people mention that it doesn't work maybe very well with some SSO scenarios, but hey, I mean, if it covers 90%, that's already good enough, because that's what very many people have been asking, as far as I remember. Is when Windows, I think, came out with this feature many years ago. I don't remember which version was it first that started that grouping of your windows in your taskbar. People like, oh, hey, SAP GUI would be nice if we did that, and it didn't for so many years, and now it does suddenly. So better late than never. That's that's kind of that's always good to have some new stuff. So I will have link to this post, and what kind of related to the old stuff subject, I suddenly got a notification from SCN that someone did like a thumbs up on my super old post, and I saw it this post. Let me see, is there a date there somewhere? So this is okay. So this comment is from 2016. So original post probably around that time. So this is 10 years old, and
yep.
it was when on SAP community we could have discussions where people would just drop like random musings about SAP and rants, and etc. etc. So this was one of those posts like this where stuff that SAP could easily fix. This is my very small wish list. I think there was more to it, and this kind of got cut off maybe, but I know SAP community deleted many very old posts,
Yeah.
so no hard feelings. But I'm glad that this one remained, because I went into our S/4HANA 2023 system to check if anything changed there, and sadly it didn't. So while SAP improved SAP GUI, this very simple, really stupid kind of missing part where you start with a program and you navigate to transaction code creation, and then the screen is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, give
Yeah.
me program name, even though it is right here. I mean, I started from there, so why not? And that still doesn't work. So SAP, you still have quite a bit of open opportunities out there to provide some SAP GUI improvement. So yeah, just wanted to throw this out there as part of our kind of entertainment part. So that is kind of that's all for me. And over to you, Paul.
Over to me. Okay. So I'm gonna jump in with one of my, I mean, for the long-time listeners of this esteemed program, and probably longtime readers of our newsletter too. One of the things I love to talk about is like marketing bullshit. And this I catch up on the SAP news thing every now and again. Honestly, I don't know why I go to this thing anymore. I shouldn't do this. This is stupid of me to go here and do this. But like, this is a prime example of two particular things that bug the living heck out of me. One, the title is How Silent Group Uses SAP and AI to Improve Everyday Retail. So there is a key word in this title that is that is probably the word that SAP doesn't want to exist there, but does exist there. And that word is and.
Hmm.
Because this is not SAP AI,
Yeah.
it's SAP and
And
AI,
yeah.
right? So you read this and you see, oh, this is really just about like plain Jane SAP stuff and then other mentions of AI stuff. That's one thing. The other thing is uh, a grammatical thing that is another application. It's another paint job, another coat of paint of bullshit on top of stuff, which is the word uses.
Hmm.
Okay? So if you read this post, you will see that SAP, the product SAP, or one of SAP's suite of products, is being used here. If you read also closely here, you will see that AI is not yet in use.
Hmm.
So you have words like the company views AI as a key enabler. AI will have real impact on the retailer. What's next? Will further success with AI. Like there is a lot in how we can improve. Like this is this is like why does this article even exist?
Yeah.
I just this is like I think a human may have written this. I don't notice any of the obvious like AI writing tells here.
Hmm.
Maybe somebody cleaned it up afterward or whatever. But this is essentially there is also such a thing as human slop. And I think this is human slop. In other words,
Yeah.
like some poor person, this person Jillian or Gillian or whatever, was assigned the task to write this thing, but there's no stuff here. There's no
Yeah.
there, you
Yeah.
know? So uh
Sorry, Paul. I just see you scrolling. It's right in the center right now. The retailer is ready to begin its AI
yeah.
transformation. That's pretty much the news here. It's like I woke up and I'm ready to start my day. It's like I
You know what?
have
You
my
know what?
breakfast of champions, and yeah,
I am ready to make $1 billion.
yeah,
Right? I am ready to hop in my Lamborghini
yeah,
in my
yeah,
driveway.
Yeah,
That does
we're
not
we're
mean,
all already.
yeah, we're,
Aren't
I,
we all?
so there's a lot of readiness and there's a lot of beginning, but there's not a lot of there.
Yeah.
And so
And
just
yeah. And
just PSA, like read uh, read marketing things with like a detailed, nitpicky eye. This is actually, I've been working a lot with Germans lately
mm,
at my job, and I really appreciate the way Germans are very precise with
yeah.
things, because that precision would like any like of these German nerds that I work with would immediately eviscerate this article.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just like probably
Yeah.
they probably wouldn't even read it because they probably don't give a shit about this stuff anyway. But like any of them would be like ooh, they would instantly see that nothing is actually happening here,
Yeah.
and they would just move on. They would see it as the nothing that it is.
And
And
what's yeah, so sorry, go ahead.
no, that's all.
What's especially infuriating about this piece is that I'm kind of interested in it because I see they also have stores in Latvia. I don't recognize the group's name, but maybe I would know store if I
Some
saw
of
the
this,
actual store
yeah,
name. So, but it's like yeah, sometimes group name is totally different from actual store chain. But I see they have in the middle like, oh, this company is using extended warehouse management (EWM). Well, right about that. That is actually interesting. They
yeah,
actually use something, and that is very hot subject. Many companies jumping on EWM because old WM is going away. That's essentially
hmm,
the only way to go with SAP. So why not write more about that and then
yeah,
say, well, maybe in future they will also have AI, but make it about what they actually do right now and then kind of segue into future plans. That would be totally valid
yeah,
piece, I think, even though it would be marketing, but it would at least be somewhat interesting to read. But simply kind of, oh yeah, they are SAP customer and they're thinking about using AI. Well, that would be like every single SAP customer
yeah.
probably out there. All of them
Like
are thinking you can just go through your kind of Rolodex of customers and just start cranking those articles and
like you could just write a script that replaces selling group with every other customer in your
yeah,
database,
yeah,
and the shape of this article would apply,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
Which
yeah,
maybe that's their plan. Maybe there's like 100,000 other articles I just didn't notice that are like every single other SAP customer
yeah,
has like a secret marketing blog post prepared about that stuff.
yeah,
In fact, here you go, SAP, free advice, free automation marketing. Like, just do this for all your customers and just drop it out
yeah,
on some spam site somewhere, and there you go.
yeah.
Now they're all out there.
Yeah, and funny enough, there is a example in Russian literature about this type of approach. Actually, there is a blog post from me somewhere buried in SAP community. It's called "Blogging Gavriliad," and it's based on a character in the very famous satirical novel called 12 Chairs. There are movies based on that novel as well, but one of the characters there, so novel takes place in 1920s maybe or so in Soviet Union. That's where there was quite a bit of a mess after revolution, so very interesting period. But one of the characters is an author who works for some kind of newsletter. And what he does, he writes poems. So poems were fashionable to publish at that time, but he is essentially kind of ChatGPT of that time because he has one character called Gavrila, and he just shamelessly reuses him in every single novel. So Gavrila is a character, it's a name, it's an old Russian name.
Yeah.
And in one novel, Gavrila is like postman. So novel goes like Gavrila was a postman. He he carried letters. So and then just few words about that. Then next week, Gavrila was a baker and he baked cakes. And he just keeps cranking out. And there is a whole like chapter about this author that he just repeatedly does the same, like very kind of template based novels about the same exact characters. And but he keeps getting paid for this because I mean newsletters paying him, but other authors just despise him, of course, for this kind of approach. Yeah, so it's that's the same. So uh,
this is something I think I've mentioned this a couple times. So everyone watching this, go look at our archive of videos and watch them all, please. Thank you. Um, that I've said a couple times is that there's a secret second video podcast here that we could be doing, which
Yeah.
is Yelena talks about old Soviet stuff and makes
Okay.
analogies to it because it's fascinating to me and I love hearing you say it. Um, there's just a blanket endorsement from me. Anytime you see something and it reminds you of this like old Soviet thing that you
Yeah.
know about, just say
There's
it because it's
there's so
fascinating to
much
me.
baggage. So much to yeah to talk about. All
This
right.
reminds me of the folktale of the blah blah blah. Oh wow, it's like it's just
All right.
you
Sorry
know.
for interruption.
Okay. The other one from me. Oh, this is that group by the way.
Hmm.
I don't know if you recognize any of those brands.
Oh, Rimi, yeah, that's a big, yeah,
Oh,
it's a big grocery store chain, yeah, in Latvia. Very, yeah,
okay.
recognizable. Yeah,
Well, there it
awesome.
is.
Good for them. Very nice chain. I like it.
You guys can look forward to some AI in the future at Rimi.
Oh, damn, I sure hope not. Jesus, freaking nightmare.
Just sell me my bread, guys.
Yeah,
Jeez. Okay, yeah.
exactly. Just don't mess it up, guys. So you have a good thing going. Don't mess it up with AI, please.
You know, that reminds me of the story of the Russian peasant who
Rather
tried to sell
from
rocks as
yeah,
bread
from
to all the, yeah.
Dostoevsky he wrote about something. Oh my goodness. Crime and punishment. Dear Lord.
Baking and punishment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so our awesome blog friend Antonio,
Hmm.
um, not very much long after I did, so the last issue that we did, um, a couple weeks ago, I did some SAP RPT stuff in that issue. Um, and our friend Antonio wrote about it in his blog, his excellent blog. I always have to put on Google Translate to read his stuff, and even with Google Translate on, I still find myself enjoying his writing. So I think there's something that's like true about good writing that it just goes
Yeah.
through all languages,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So there's this amazing stuff here. There's also, by the way, what's really cool that I can't believe I've never noticed this. But so he does a video where he talks about RPT 1.5. People keep saying want to say rapid. I don't like saying that.
Yeah,
I
me
want to say
neither.
RPT. Yeah.
Sounds stupid.
And then also some more with Claude. But the thing that caught my eye just with the video was that like you can do the captions or you can change the voice to the voice in your language. So like
Mm.
he narrates it in Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
but you can change the voiceover to English. I've never done that with a video on YouTube
Mm,
before.
that's interesting.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's probably just something that everybody talks in English, so I don't have to do it, right? I just happen to be
Yeah.
dumb luck born knowing English, right?
Yeah.
Or born into a country where I speak English, so I never have to do that. But like in this case, I flipped it to English from his original narration,
Mm.
and it preserved some of the. It was almost like the AI voice still retained this very slight quality of like you could still tell
Mm.
that it was a person with a little bit of an accent like his
Mm.
speaking. Even though it was an AI voice and it was, of course, whatever, it wasn't like it was just some random voice. It
Yeah.
carried through some characteristics that,
Mm.
like, I could not hear in Spanish because I don't
Yeah.
understand Spanish,
Yeah.
right? But it carried through like, some vocal characteristics and some things. So even though it was a different voice, it carried through some characteristics. I thought that was incredible and amazing and whatever. But that's not the point. I thought that
Mm.
was cool, but that's not the point. The point is that this is a really cool write up, and I'll talk further about this. But I think I'm going to do another in depth write up on some more pieces of RPT 1.5 or whichever one is available now. It looks like you can get 1.5 on GenHub. And do some more things because I think it is, the more I look at it, the more it is interesting on its own little corner of the universe.
Mm.
But also the one thing that Antonio mentions here too, which is also true of what I did in the last issue, was that like I wrote up about this stuff
Mm.
that I did some probing of this and I whatever. But like And RPT-1 was pretty cool to like, and the Google model I used too was pretty cool to like see how they could do these predictions. But I used Claude Code to make the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I read some of the code just to kind of make sure it was okay, but I didn't write any of the code that generated the stuff
Mm-hmm.
for that stuff. And this is like this also is what he points out too, right? There's like there's the sense of like solving a particular problem, like
Mm-hmm.
the RPT or whatever tabular foundation thing those. But then there's also the idea of like the the thing that solves the problem it solves is solving problems,
Mm-hmm.
right? The RPT and like solves the problem of predicting little
Mm-hmm.
slices of table, like Claude Code or Codex or pick your favorite AI tool like that,
Mm-hmm.
solves the problem of solving problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? At least to some degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's incredible. And I probably will use Claude Code again to like do some further investigation this time around,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like there's this like layered feeling to this of like I want to investigate this thing
Mm-hmm.
and it's really cool, but I'm also going to use AI to help me do the investigation of the thing
Mm-hmm.
so that I can like it's almost like there's always an extra story on top about how cool that layer is,
Mm-hmm.
even though I really want to write about the thing at the center, which is RPT-1 or whatever, the version of it will be.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't help but agree with Antonio here that like Claude is much more flexible and that like if you just have a general thing, like just start with the general model like Claude or whatever, and then they can help you. They don't have to do all of your thinking for you. They can think with you and help you get to the place where then you need to do your thinking on top of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or
Mm-hmm.
you need to do your thinking in the details of something that you want to do. I don't have anything else to say about that except that's what I'm trying to get at when I talk about AI all the time is that like this solve the problem of solving problems is what's going on
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I want to say about that. I'll write about it. I'll write about some RPT-1 stuff. So that is our latest edition of Nerdletter Talk. On behalf of Yelena, this is Paul saying, have a great day, everyone. We hope to see you like, subscribe, share, etc. Bye
Awesome.
bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye.